South America is a land of contrasts, towering mountains, vast rainforests, and scorching deserts. Beneath this beauty lies a treasure trove of natural resources including oil, the black gold that has shaped the continent's destiny for better or worse. Oil has been both a blessing and a curse, economic prosperity for some, political turmoil and environmental degradation for others. From Venezuela's sweltering plains to the Amazon's depths, each region faces unique challenges, like a reality show with no winners. South America holds some of the world's largest oil reserves. These reserves represent immense wealth and power, but tapping into them is fraught with difficulties, from technical challenges to geopolitical tensions. Oil has fueled economic booms but also sparked conflict and environmental destruction. Jobs and infrastructure have come to remote areas, but so have pollution and habitat loss. It's the gift that keeps on taking. Venezuela, blessed and burdened by its massive oil reserves, sits atop the largest proven oil reserves globally. But this black gold has come at a price, with political instability and economic woes plaguing the nation. The wealth generated by oil has not been evenly distributed, leading to social unrest and economic disparity. The government's reliance on oil revenue has made the economy vulnerable to global oil price fluctuations. It's a roller coaster ride with no safety harness. Next door, Brazil boasts significant oil reserves, particularly in its offshore pre-salt fields. These deep-sea deposits have propelled Brazil into the league of major oil producers, but the environmental risks remain a serious concern. The potential for oil spills and the impact on marine life are just a few of the many challenges Brazil faces as it seeks to balance economic growth with environmental protection. Brazil has made strides in developing renewable energy sources, but the lure of oil revenue remains strong. This duality is a common theme in South America's oil narrative. It's like trying to diet in a candy store. Colombia, grappling with internal conflict and drug trafficking, also harbors significant oil reserves. These reserves have played a complex role in Colombia's tumultuous history, often fueling violence and instability. It's like adding fuel to a fire, literally. The revenue from oil has been used to fund both government and rebel forces, making it a double-edged sword in the nation's ongoing struggles. The environmental impact has also been severe, with oil spills and deforestation adding to the country's woes. Despite these challenges, Colombia continues to be a significant player in the global oil market. These three countries, each with its unique story, stand as testaments to the immense impact of oil on South America's past, present, and future. The story of South America's oil giants is still being written, and the next chapter could be the most transformative yet. Or, it could just be more of the same. Stay tuned. Since its discovery in the early 20th century, oil has been a driving force in the region's economic and political landscape. The early days of oil exploration were marked by a rush to tap into this newfound wealth, with foreign companies and local governments alike eager to stake their claim. The promise of oil wealth brought hope and ambition, but it also sowed the seeds of future conflicts and challenges. Ah, the sweet smell of progress. It has fueled dreams of prosperity, ignited conflicts over resources, and left an indelible mark on the continent's social fabric. The allure of oil wealth has often led to fierce competition and disputes, both within and between nations. It's like they say, nothing like a good old-fashioned resource war to bring people together. Venezuela's story is perhaps the most striking example of oil's double-edged sword. The discovery of vast oil reserves in the early 1900s transformed Venezuela from a poor agricultural nation into a major oil exporter. This transformation brought rapid economic growth and modernization, but it also introduced new challenges and complexities. The discovery of vast oil reserves in the early 1900s transformed Venezuela from a poor agricultural nation into a major oil exporter. The influx of oil revenue allowed for significant investments in infrastructure and public services, but it also created a dependency on a single resource. This dependency made the country vulnerable to fluctuations in global oil prices and economic instability. It's like putting all your eggs in one very slippery basket. This newfound wealth, however, did not translate into widespread prosperity. While the oil industry flourished, many Venezuelans continued to live in poverty. The wealth generated by oil was often concentrated in the hands of a few, leading to stark economic disparities. The gap between the rich and the poor widened, and social tensions grew. Because of course, who would have thought trickle-down economics wouldn't work? Instead, it fueled corruption, exacerbated social inequalities, and strengthened the grip of authoritarian regimes. The concentration of wealth and power in the hands of a few led to widespread corruption and mismanagement. Political leaders used oil revenues to maintain their hold on power, often at the expense of democratic institutions and the rule of law. The rise of Hugo Chavez and his Bolivarian revolution in the late 20th century was deeply intertwined with Venezuela's oil wealth. Chavez, a charismatic leader who promised to distribute the country's oil riches to the poor, nationalized the oil industry and used oil revenues to fund social programs. His policies were aimed at reducing poverty and inequality, but they also led to increased state control over the economy. Chavez, a charismatic leader, used oil revenues to fund social programs. These programs initially garnered widespread support, as they provided much-needed assistance to the most vulnerable segments of society. However, the heavy reliance on oil revenues made the country susceptible to economic shocks. When oil prices fell, the economy suffered, leading to shortages of basic goods and services. The government's inability to manage the economy effectively exacerbated the crisis, leading to widespread hardship and unrest. Who knew that relying on a volatile commodity could be so volatile? Brazil, with its more diversified economy, has fared somewhat better. The country has managed to balance its oil industry with other sectors, reducing its vulnerability to oil price fluctuations. This diversification has allowed Brazil to maintain a more stable economic environment, even in the face of global economic challenges. The discovery of massive offshore oil reserves in the 2000s boosted Brazil's economic growth and propelled it onto the global stage. The development of these reserves required significant investment and technological innovation, positioning Brazil as a key player in the global oil market. The revenues generated from oil exports have contributed to the country's economic development and international influence. Who knew drilling in the ocean could be so lucrative? However, even Brazil has not been immune to the resource curse, with corruption scandals and environmental concerns plaguing its oil industry. The exploitation of oil resources has led to environmental degradation, particularly in sensitive areas like the Amazon rainforest. Additionally, corruption scandals involving major oil companies and government officials have undermined public trust and highlighted the challenges of managing natural resources responsibly. Because nothing says responsible management like a good scandal. Colombia's experience with oil has been equally complex. The country has significant oil reserves, but the exploitation of these resources has been accompanied by violence and conflict. Guerrilla groups and paramilitaries have fought for control of oil-rich territories, leading to instability and suffering for local communities. Oil production in Colombia has been marred by violence and conflict, with guerrilla groups and paramilitaries vying for control of oil-rich territories. The presence of these armed groups has made it difficult to develop the oil industry safely and sustainably. The violence has also displaced thousands of people and disrupted local economies. Because nothing says economic development like a good old-fashioned turf war. While Colombia has made strides in recent years to pacify its countryside and attract foreign investment in its oil sector, the legacy of violence and environmental degradation persists. Efforts to restore peace and promote sustainable development are ongoing, but the challenges are significant. The country continues to grapple with the long-term impacts of conflict and the need to balance economic growth with environmental protection. The stories of Venezuela, Brazil, and Colombia illustrate the profound and often contradictory ways in which oil has shaped South America's history. Each country has experienced the benefits and drawbacks of oil wealth in different ways, reflecting the complex interplay of economic, political, and social factors. The impact of oil on these nations is a testament to the resource's power to transform societies for better or worse, mostly worse. As we look to the future, the landscape of South America's oil industry is poised for significant changes, or as we like to call it, the new normal. The region faces a myriad of challenges but also holds tremendous opportunities for those who enjoy a good gamble. That could redefine its economic and political trajectory. One of the foremost challenges is the global shift towards renewable energy. As the world increasingly prioritizes sustainability and reduces its reliance on fossil fuels, South American countries must adapt to remain competitive. Or just keep pretending they are. This transition presents a dual-edged sword. While it threatens to diminish the importance of oil exports, it also opens the door for investments in renewable energy projects. Countries like Brazil and Argentina are already exploring wind, solar, and biofuel options, aiming to diversify their energy portfolios and reduce their carbon footprints. Environmental concerns are another critical issue. The exploitation of oil resources has often come at a high environmental cost, particularly in ecologically sensitive areas like the Amazon rainforest. But hey, progress, right? Future development must balance economic growth with environmental protection, ensuring that the pursuit of oil wealth does not come at the expense of the region's natural heritage. Because irony is a thing. Political stability will also play a crucial role in shaping the future of South America's oil industry. The legacy of corruption and mismanagement must be addressed to foster a more transparent and accountable governance framework. Good luck with that. Countries that can successfully implement reforms and attract foreign investment while maintaining social and political stability will be better positioned to navigate the complexities of the global oil market. On the opportunity side, technological advancements hold promise for the industry. Because who doesn't love a good gadget? Innovations in oil extraction and production can increase efficiency and reduce environmental impact. Additionally, the development of new infrastructure and partnerships can enhance the region's ability to compete on the global stage. Finally, the potential for regional cooperation offers a path forward. By working together, South American countries can leverage their collective strengths, share best practices, and negotiate more favorable terms in the global oil market. Collaborative efforts in research, development, and environmental protection can help the region achieve a more sustainable and prosperous future. Fingers crossed. In conclusion, the future of South America's oil landscape is both challenging and full of potential. And a bit of a mess. The region must navigate the global shift towards renewable energy, address environmental concerns, and foster political stability to ensure a prosperous future. By embracing innovation and regional cooperation, South America can harness its oil wealth responsibly and pave the way for sustainable development. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of South America's oil giants. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. We could use the distraction. Until next time, stay informed and stay inspired.